beautiful day. We had right at 200 former players here, which is awesome. Obviously, Coach Berger was back too as well, and that was great to see him. Pleased with how we moved the ball offensively. I think we got a little ways to go defensively. We got to get better in some areas. We got to continue to build our depth on both lines of scrimmage, but we have a lot of numbers, and that's a positive. That's how you get better. It's a developmental game, and to be able to take the number of snaps. Last week we had 170. This week we were right over 100 probably. We got 2 more days next week, and it'll be the emphasis is going to be on our young guys. We got to continue to get these guys to help us, and when we start talking in terms of our 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th offensive linemen, feel more confident about that. And the same thing on the defensive line, but. Pleased with the progress that we've made, and but we still got 123 days to report, and it's 123 opportunities to improve and get better, and that's what we plan on doing. I'll open up for any questions.
Raise your hand. We'll get Mike 1, 2, David first.
Will, you mentioned the 123 days. Just how crucial is it for the guys to do the throwing drills and everything they can do before they get back to fall camp?
Well, the good thing is we've got really good leadership, and we have guys that are going to be accountable within our organization. And I addressed the quarterbacks and receivers because we've had Brian missed a little time in the spring. Debo's been in and out of spring. We've got to do a great job in the off season, throwing and catching, and that's going to be huge for us. We got to make strides in the secondary. We got to continue to have more guys that are game ready than we have right now. That's the bottom line. So these 123 days will be critical for every college football team, including us.
Colin.
How do you feel like the offense executed with the tempo and the things like that?
Very well. We had one procedure issue that we probably shouldn't have had. We didn't have any last week. We had one today. Very pleased with how our guys have received it. It's been good for our entire organization from a defensive standpoint of having to play against it. But certainly I think that Jake plays better when he plays faster. And I thought, the first drive we were in cover 2, and he saw the whole shot. He saw it pre-snap. I knew exactly where he was going with it. We didn't get aligned correctly defensively. But that's what happens when you create some tempo. But I thought we dictated the tempo well. We didn't do as much look back as we will do in the fall. But to be able to dictate the tempo of the game and control that offensively. Now you got to get first downs to do it, and that's going to be critical.
Josh.
How'd you think Jake played overall today?
Good. I thought he was active. I think we had 7 drops maybe. We had a bunch. So we got to catch the ball better and secure the catch before we start running with it, which was the issue in my opinion on several of them.
And your 2 freshmen, Jay and DeCarry.
Going to be good players. At the end of the day, the game's got to slow down for them. DeCarry's got to take care of the ball better, in traffic situations, obviously. But I'm excited about both guys. Michael Scarnett will be our backup quarterback. He's had a very good spring. He throws it extremely well. He's got a very good grasp of what we're doing offensively. So both guys will continue to progress, and these Monday and Tuesday we're going to practice will be 2 huge days for both of those guys.
Middle back, Will.
How would you trace the origin of wanting to move this offense faster, and how would you grade the progress from the start of that to now?
I think the progress has been very good. I mean, we've always had the mechanism offensively to play at a faster pace, and I've been very pleased with the progress that we've made. Going back and just evaluating and looking at some of the fronts we've got to block defensively, the only success that people have had running the ball against them is with tempo. So you've got to be realistic to say, okay, if we're going to be able to run the ball successfully against some of these fronts we've got to play against in our league, we're going to have to play with a little bit more tempo and be able to dictate the tempo of the game, and that's what we're trying to do.
Will, specifically with receivers and linebackers, with Debo in and out and Bryson not on the field, do you think the guys behind them took the strides this spring to kind of enhance this team when they do get back?
Well, Bryson was out on defense, and I really thought Danny Fennell had a really good bowl game against Michigan. But he continues to make some strides for us as a guy that can play outside backer and also rush the passer. So I think that was very beneficial for him. It was a huge spring for Shy and Ortre to be able to take all of those reps with Jake and be able to have those opportunities, which I think was huge. It was a great spring for A.J. Turner. It was a great spring for A.J. and Tyson Williams with Rico out, to be able to get all the turns and all the reps. And again, in order to improve, you got to play the game. And you're not getting any better, sitting in the weight room. So those guys certainly, I think, made some strides. I thought that, in our starting 5 offensive linemen, I'm pleased with the progress from where we are right now. We need more guys that will be dependable on game day. But Blake Camper's dedicated himself to the weight room, and I think he's done a fantastic job. Zach's back at his more natural position inside. Not that he didn't play well for us at right tackle, but I feel like he's a more natural inside player to get movement. Donnell's made a seamless transition to center. And Sedarius Hutchinson was one of our offensive players of the spring. We feel that good about him. Dennis Daly's taken the next step at left tackle. So we got to continue to get more guys that are able to do that. Kobe Smith made tremendous strides to me as a defensive tackle for us. And I feel like the two guys I would recognize as young guys, J.J. Mbare and Tyreek Johnson, are both guys who are going to help our football team next year.
Back to the mic.
Coach, I know you're always constantly evaluating, but how much stock do you put into what you saw today from some of these guys when you go back and watch the film in comparison to what they were able to do all spring long, getting ready